Hi, today I'm going to be showing you some of my techniques for recording an acoustic guitar. The microphones that I'm going to use today are a choice between the standard Shure Beta 58 or the SM58, the Shure SM57, which I always use on drums and guitar amps. I have a PVR1 microphone that does require phantom power. Generally, I would use this on hi-hats or something of the sort. Today, I'm going to try this on an acoustic guitar. And I have an Audio-Technica Pro 44. And this microphone picks up sound all the way around it. It is not directional at all. So what I'm going to do is mount this on my studio ceiling here and kind of use it as an overhead room mic and see what that sounds like. From my experience in the past, I've noticed that recording acoustic instruments such as acoustic guitar using the Shure 57s and 58s required me to place the microphone very, very close to the guitar to the point where it was interfering with my playing. So we're going to try these phantom powered microphones and see if we can't get a better turnout that way. As you can see, I've placed the PV microphone on a stand about a foot to a foot and a half away from the guitar itself, pointed directly at the hole in the guitar and where I'm picking. This seems to give me a pretty direct sound without a lot of ambient noises from the room. So this will be my direct type sound microphone. And I have mounted the other microphone on the ceiling to catch the room sounds and give it more of a live performance type of feel. And I'm going to mix those two together. And to give you an idea of what type of level you should have, the track 1 and 2 are the two microphones I have on the guitar. Track 3 is my vocal microphone that I'm speaking to you with. And notice the level meters on track 1 and 2. They are not clipping and they are not too low. The waveform that gets created is just about right. So we'll go from there. Okay, watching Mixcraft now, we are going to record a short guitar riff and see how that turns out. Now that we have the guitar tracks recorded, it's time to trim, tweak, add effects, and just generally add the magic that makes it sound professional. A couple of things I want to stress for you are these. You do not have to record two tracks at once. You don't have to use two microphones. You can simply use a single microphone. I did this to show the difference in sound between a room microphone and a mic that is placed closer to the instrument. The second thing I want to stress is that you don't have to use a phantom-powered microphone. But if you do, you'll need hardware that provides the phantom power to the microphone. This is generally a mixing board or home studio hardware such as the product from M-Audio called Audio Buddy. Okay, so let's work on track 1 first. The first thing I'm going to do is trim off the beginning to remove silence, noise, etc. And to do that, I'm going to use my mouse wheel and zoom in, grab the edge and drag it over to where the guitar starts, and drag the entire audio object to the left. Zoom in even further and remove most, if not all of that. Then I'm going to create an audio level volume point here and pull that very first point down to 0 so you get a slight fade in case there are any other noises that are still there. They will fade in and be much less noticeable. Now let's solo track 1, rewind and play. Notice how there's no noise at the beginning. Now we need to do that to track 2 as well. Zoom back out using my mouse wheel and repeat the process. Now we want these two waveforms to line up, so I'm going to drag this over, get those as close as I can, create my quick fade, solo track 2, take a listen to that, and then play them together and make sure that they are close enough together so I don't get a stereo effect yet. Sounds good. When recording a song, you're generally going to want to do the same thing to the end of the track that we did at the beginning here. So I will zoom back out using my mouse button, go to the end here and drag those in fairly close, zoom in further, and I can see the acoustic guitar fade out about right here. So what I'm going to do is add a volume point there, pull that down so we get a smooth fade out without any abrupt endings, and we'll play that, see what it sounds like. Okay, very nice. Now what I want to do is work on track 1, so we will solo track 1, and I'm going to be adding some effects and tweaking the equalization within the Acoustica mixer. So I'm going to loop most of this, click the loop button, hit play, and then go to the mixer. You don't want a lot of low end in an acoustic guitar. That's going to interfere with bass guitar or drums. So just basically remove some of that with the parametric EQ here on the Acoustica mixer. And then what I'll do is go to the effects button. And the first thing I want to add is a compressor. So we'll use the classic compressor that ships with Mixcraft. And what that compressor is going to do for us is try to smooth this out. You notice if you look at the waveform, you've got some low points, some high points, and that makes for a sort of a harsh sound in your final mix. So we'll use this compressor to try to smooth that out a little bit. I believe they have an acoustic guitar preset, so we'll try that out. And that works very nicely. You notice you can still hear me hitting the strings harder, but it doesn't actually get louder. So you've got your dynamics without the harsh level changes. Okay, I like that. The next thing I want to add is an equalizer. So we'll use the Acoustica EQ. And I'm going to hit edit on that and play this and try to find frequencies that I think may not sound good or frequencies that may need to be added in order to make it sound a little better. And the next thing I'm going to want to add is a reverb. So we'll use the Acoustic reverb. Bring that up. And personally, I like to set the high frequency damping to 0 because I like that high, sharp, crisp sound that comes off of the acoustic guitar. And we'll hit play. Also smooths it up a little bit. And then one of the things I like to add to vocals and guitars is some type of spread. So the classic chorus that comes with Mixcraft, yes, it's a chorus, but it also has a setting for vocal spread. And what this is going to do is give you a little bit of a stereo separation between your speakers or headphones, whatever you may be listening on, and make the guitar sound very, very full. So let's check that out. Now let's compare that to the other track, which has no effects. Huge difference. So basically, you're going to want to do the same thing to the second track. A very easy way that you can apply all these same effects to the other track is to right-click on your track 1 that we've already tweaked and got it sounding how we want it to sound. We'll right-click there and choose Duplicate Track. This has not only duplicated the audio, but it's also duplicated all the effects that we put on the first track. And I will remove the audio from that track and bring the audio up that was on our original track 2. And I'm going to zoom in and make sure that those still match. And now if we listen to track 2, all the effects are there. So if we listen to those two together, you have a very full sound from two different types of microphones. And another thing we can do, if we didn't want to use, or if this was not enough, to use this classic chorus on the vocal spread to give us a stereo separation, let's take that out of both tracks, and then we will pan track 1 and track 2 right and left, and then zoom in, and I'm going to move track 2 out of sequence with track 1. And we'll see if that was too much or. Hopefully you can hear that through the video, but that gave a huge spread, and the guitar sounds just absolutely huge. I hope this video has helped you out in your acoustic guitar recording adventures. Thanks for using Mixcraft, and thanks for watching.